Everything is unnecessary. Everything. What do I mean by unnecessary? I mean that people don't have to do the stuff they do. It's never necessary, right? You're at these jobs, you're trying to make a living, you have a lot of stresses going on at home or, your personal lives and stuff. You're trying to sort these things out. So the last thing that you need in a toxic workplace environment is unnecessary roughness. I talk a lot about this in my book, I Love Bad Behavior, folks, because I really don't love it. It's the irony, right, of realizing that people do things that are very, very, very completely unnecessary, totally unnecessary, for the purposes of making themselves feel better. It's always for some psychological reason, because that person is a weaker person. I'm not blaming people for being weak. I don't really mind. I understand that, people have different personalities and stuff. I get that. But when your weakness is affecting another person on a level, that compromises the best in you, that's when you need to hit that mirror. That's when the reflection time should be, starting. That's when that's necessary. A lot of people say that, talk is cheap, and it is. But I'm talking because I'm talking and I'm hoping that what I'm saying to you guys has some value, that it's worth something. It's worth something to me to say it. The unnecessary roughness that people display every day, mostly in these toxic workplace environments, the places that you have to be. You can avoid going somewhere in public that you don't want to be, right? But when you find a job, maybe you were unemployed for a while, whatever your story, and you get this job somewhere, and you're making a decent paycheck, and you're getting the bills paid, and the kids are getting fed, then you're serving that purpose. You're working there for that purpose, not to deal with unnecessary roughness. People just want to play rough, right? People are just messed up in their heads, and they just want to make you feel the pain that they feel every single day, or they want to extract your energy, because they're incapable of feeling anything. Clinically insane, clinically, depressed, or whatever they're going through. But you have to deal with that, folks. What makes you strong, the difference between you and these said people are the fact that you go to work every day, no matter what those troubles and things that you're going through and experiencing in your personal lives, no matter what those things are. You go to work and you make a paycheck and go home, right? You save all that drama for other places in your life, and you still don't need them there, but definitely not at work. Not with a bunch of strangers, a bunch of lowlifes and flying monkeys and people who are just looking to do you in to get credit for themselves or uplift themselves. Just like a football game, except the rules can be rewritten over and over in these toxic workplace environments. Unnecessary, people. The roughness that you display and the callous regard for other people's feelings. This is not about, being soft on people. But this is about realizing that if you don't have to do something, it's not necessary, right? It's necessary to make a living in this hard world where they charge people and, everything costs a buck. To get decent water, you're going to pay for that. Whatever we're doing here, this is what's going on. People don't need to go to work and have to deal with unnecessary BS from people like yourselves, the assholes, the loser lots. So you think somehow that the things that you're doing, these games that you're playing, because you're trying to do the bidding of the master planner, you think these games are going to bring you up somehow. Not realizing that you'll one day be discarded, just like all of the other victims that you have watched go down in flames. And even some of you sadistic assholes found a little humor in these things. To see someone fall, stumble in life. And that's funny to you, not realizing that there's karma You know, the ass that you're kicking, right? You'll feel that one day. You know? And the weaker people, those of you who do all of these things, you're the weakest of all of us. So you won't be able to handle the pressure when it comes back around to you. But that's what you don't get, folks. That's what you don't get. It's not even necessary. You don't have to be mean. You don't have to be disrespectful to someone because you're hurting. You get what I'm saying? Because your feelings are affected. Just like a child. You know, you like some woman and she likes some other guy, so you decide to treat her very callously and disrespectfully, and so you treat the other guys well. Because you feel that you're entitled. You should have this woman, but you're a piece of shit. You haven't done the necessary work to fix yourselves. And this is why, you weren't selected. Because that person probably was healthy, but you don't get it, folks. I've sat back, many years and, did social research in these work fields, doing different types of jobs and looking at everyone and seeing that they all were clamoring, trying to get a little value, trying to be stand out, trying to be the ones that everyone wants to pay attention to and listen to and follow. You want to be the leader, but you don't have those abilities. Right? All of that stuff is stuff that you projected to yourself and you're trying to project to us, but we can smell your bullshit. We're not seeing this stuff. Right? Everything that you do during a given work day is unnecessary. Right? If you're someone's boss, you're playing games with anything that you have your hands on that you can control, you're playing these games like a child because you're mad and you're throwing a tantrum because this person won't do your bidding. They won't kiss your ass, your dirty ass. They won't kiss it because you're a scumbag, low life. And they won't stoop there. And because they won't stoop, you're going to punish them. The unnecessary roughness, people. The things that we don't have to do. The things that these bosses and these flying monkeys, your co-workers and your frenemies and all of the stuff that they do, the backstabbers. Right? You're trying to date your friends' girlfriends. All of these things that you've seen in your life in high school or something. They play out in a toxic workplace, adult environment, supposedly adult. Right? And this is what you deal with. You guys know I'm right. The best of you know I'm right. You go to work every day. You see these people, folks. We need to do something about this. I've seen this so many times in my life, though. You give someone something, you promote them or something, and all of these people turn on their friends. They were never their friends. So you get to be the lead, whatever. You get the head, whatever, secretary or something, or whatever you're doing. And because you don't realize that you're just doing a job, it's just a task, and you don't have your clear understandings of those things, you think you're exalted and you treat your friends badly. They're not your friends, really. You're associates. You turn on them because you want to fit in and you want to do the bidding of the master planner. If that master planner has them as a target, then you target those people. Your friends, your very own close people to you. That's what you do, folks. It's starting to rain out here too. But this is the unnecessary stuff that we do as humans because we don't do enough thinking. We don't do enough of reflecting in that mirror, which is really just you just looking at yourselves and saying that, I could do something different. If I'm doing something mean because I don't want another person to harm me or make me feel this way, maybe I'll avoid doing this to the next person. Now, if enough of you guys out there in the world did the same exact things, right, we would start to see some progress immediately. Starting to see a lot of bugs and shit out here too. But we started to see a lot of progress, folks. And then the pessimistic people, can become more optimistic about something. Like me. I'm only speaking the real. I'm only speaking because I know what's going to happen. I've seen it too many times, people. Show me a better day. Show me you want to try and you want to do something. Show me. That's all I'm saying. It's raining, raining, raining. I love bad behavior, people. But I love people who do things, only when they're necessary. You go to work because it's necessary. You take care of your children. You feed them because it's necessary. But one thing that you don't do that's very necessary, that you haven't done, is look in that mirror and make the necessary adjustments to yourselves. So we all out here can have some fucking peace. And not have to deal with your callous behavior. Treating people a certain way at work every day because you're upset, because they're talking to someone and not you. Are you a child? When did you grow up? When did you ever grow up? All right, so let me get down this trail, folks. It's starting to rain. It's getting a little muddy out here. And the wildlife are coming out. Like, share, and subscribe to the channel. And pick up my book on Amazon. You can pick it up on my website, thinkbehavior.info. Come on over. Love to have you. Try to stay dry, folks, if you're out in the rain, because I'm going to try to do that. I don't have a raincoat. I don't have anything out here. I get to start walking. You folks, have a good night.